I was so scared when I saw that creature in my backyard. I thought it was my dog at first, but then it started moving in ways that no animal should move. And when it finally turned around to face me, I nearly fainted dead away. What the hell was that thing? It all started a few weeks ago. I just got home from work and I was going to let my dog out into the backyard for a little bit before bed. Now, he's an Australian Shepherd, and he is a herding dog. So he has to stay active. He can't just chill out on the couch all day like my cat. The dog needs to run and jump and do things, or else he will literally drive himself crazy. So I let him out back every day after work so he can blow off some steam. I live in a suburban neighborhood with big lots. So our backyard is pretty big, and usually there's plenty of space for the dog to run around without getting bored. But that night I came out back and something was different. Something was pacing back and forth in the middle of my yard, and it was keeping itself busy by jumping up and down on my mailbox. Now, my dog, Sparky, loves the mailbox. He likes to jump up and down on it too. So at first I thought that maybe my dog had gotten loose and this was him. I hollered out, "Sparky, come here, boy." But the creature didn't respond. It kept jumping up and down on my mailbox, and sometimes it would pace around the yard. And as I watched it, I noticed something strange about its gait. Every time it took a step, it seemed to vanish into thin air. 1 second it would be standing right here, and the next second it would be standing right there, and then it would take another step and vanish again. And if I blinked, I might miss a step. But if I watched closely, I could see it happen over and over again. I don't know what kind of voodoo magic that thing was pulling, but it was like watching a magician perform in real life. Whatever it was, it seemed to materialize and dematerialize at random intervals, and I could never predict where it would appear next. After a while, I got tired of standing there watching this weird-ass thing, and I went inside to get my phone. I wanted to film it so I could post the video on social media and see if anyone else had seen this thing. And sure enough, when I came back outside with my phone, it was still jumping up and down on my mailbox. I held my phone steady and I started recording. At first it didn't seem to pay any attention to me, but then it stopped what it was doing and stared directly at me. Well, stared is a strong word for what happened. The best way I can describe it is that it looked in my general direction. If this thing had a face, it would have been staring at me, but it didn't have a face. Instead, it was just a dark, shadowy blob with no discernible features. It stood there unmoving for a good minute or two, and I couldn't help but feel like it was sizing me up, trying to figure out what I was. Then, just like that, it vanished. It reappeared a few feet away and started trotting in my direction. I froze, and I just kept staring at it as it slowly approached me. Then it did something that made my blood run cold. It opened its mouth, and it smiled. If this thing had a face, it would have smiled at me. But it didn't have a face. Only a gaping, empty void where its mouth should have been. As it got closer, I could see that there were sharp, jagged teeth inside that dark hole. They looked like the fangs of some kind of vampire. Whatever this thing was, it was coming straight for me, and it was smiling like it was enjoying itself. It wasn't fast. It was taking small, deliberate steps as if it was walking on a tightrope, and it had to be careful not to fall off. Each step it took was slow and calculated. At this point, I was freaking out inside, but I kept my cool and I continued filming. I didn't want this thing to get any closer, but it kept coming toward me, still smiling that horrible, toothy grin. Finally, it stopped a few feet away, and it stayed still for a moment. I was frozen in place, staring at that dark, empty smile. And then it vanished. I blinked, and it was gone. When I replayed the video later, I could barely see it. All I could make out was the flashing white rectangle of my phone screen and the very edge of my silhouette. But in the brief moments between frames, I could see it standing there, grinning at me with those long, sharp fangs. But that wasn't even the creepiest part. I checked the video later the next day, and I could have sworn I saw something else. Right behind that thing, almost like a transparent ghost, was a dark outline of another creature. It was hard to tell because the video quality wasn't great, but it looked exactly like a Doberman Pinscher. The scary part is that we had a Doberman Pinscher years ago. We named him Shadow. Shadow passed away a long time ago, So why would his ghost appear in this video? And why would this creature be hanging out with a ghost dog? What the hell was going on out there? Is this some kind of interdimensional portal or something? Are ghosts and monsters free to roam in the suburbs now? I don't know what this thing is, but I do know that I am never letting my dog out in the backyard again until I figure this thing out. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please smash the like button and check out more content.